Welcome to another deep dive with us.
It's great to be here.
Today we're taking a look at Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Oh, yeah, classic.
Yeah, it's a book that's had a huge impact on the way people think about personal finance.
Absolutely.
And we're going to be looking at it in a unique way.
Very cool.
We're going to be exploring how to combine the insights of the book with the memory-boosting power of memory palaces.
Fascinating. So we'll be able to take these financial principles and really anchor them in a vivid spatial environment in our mind.
Exactly. It's like building a mental vault for financial wisdom.
I like that.
So if you're ready to unlock your mental potential and build a solid foundation for achieving financial freedom, you're in the right place.
Let's do it.
Now, for those who may not be familiar with Rich Dad, Poor Dad, let's start with the core message of the book.
All right. So at its heart, Rich Dad, Poor Dad really emphasizes understanding the fundamental difference between assets and liabilities.
Okay.
And according to the book, this distinction is absolutely key to building wealth.
And the book uses a really compelling personal story to drive this point home.
It does. Robert Kiyosaki, the author, shares his experience of having two dads.
Right.
One rich, one poor.
Yeah.
And how their contrasting views on money shaped his entire financial philosophy.
I love how that personal story makes these concepts so much more relatable.
Me too.
So can you give us a quick rundown of how those two dads viewed money differently?
Sure. So Kiyosaki's biological father, his poor dad, believed in that more traditional path, get a good education, find a secure job, work hard, save money.
Right, the classic advice.
Exactly. His rich dad, on the other hand, he championed financial independence and emphasized building wealth through acquiring assets.
So it's not just about earning a good income, but it's about what you do with that income that really matters.
Exactly. The book really challenges that conventional notion of simply working for money.
Right.
And instead encourages readers to create a system where their money works for them.
I love that. The book uses these really clear visual cash flow diagrams to illustrate how different groups handle money.
Yeah.
The rich, the poor, the middle class.
They're so powerful, those diagrams. They visually demonstrate how the rich focus on building their asset column, which generates more income.
Right.
While the poor and middle class often get stuck in a cycle of earning and spending with their money flowing primarily toward liabilities.
So to put it simply, liabilities are things that take money out of your pocket.
Yes.
Whereas assets PUT money in your pocket.
Exactly. And the book refers to this focus on building assets as minding your own business.
Right, which, as we mentioned, doesn't necessarily mean starting a company. It's more about taking control of your finances.
Absolutely.
Understanding where your money is going.
Yes.
And making choices that help you build that all-important asset column.
It's about becoming financially literate and proactive rather than just letting your finances happen to you.
I love that. The book does provide specific examples of assets, right? It's not just this abstract concept.
Oh, absolutely. Kiyosaki discusses various types of assets, including real estate stocks, bonds, intellectual property. Anything that has the potential to generate income or appreciate in value over time.
So it's about building a portfolio of income-generating assets that work together to create financial stability and ultimately freedom.
Exactly.
And while building that portfolio, the book also highlights some common financial traps that people often fall into.
It does.
Can you give us an example of one of those traps?
Sure. Kiyosaki talks about how fear and greed can cloud our judgment and lead to poor financial decisions.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
He also cautions against becoming too reliant on job security, encouraging readers to take control of their financial destinies.
So it's about being proactive, informed, and strategic with your finances rather than reactive, fearful, or blindly following conventional wisdom.
Exactly. It's about empowering yourself with financial knowledge and making choices that align with your long-term goals.
So Rich Dad, Poor Dad is really a call to action then.
I think so.
It's about understanding the rules of the game and playing it strategically to achieve financial success.
That's a great way to put it.
Now are you ready to explore how we can use the incredible power of memory palaces to make these Rich Dad, Poor Dad principles truly stick?
Absolutely. I'm excited to dive into the world of memory palaces and see how we can use them to solidify our understanding of these key financial concepts.
Let's do it.
Let's get into it. Let's talk about memory palaces.
Okay, so for anyone who's not familiar with memory palaces, can you give us a little background?
Sure. So memory palaces, also known as the method of loci, they're mental constructs that have been used for centuries to enhance memory.
That's amazing. I mean, to think that something so powerful and effective has been around for so long and we can all tap into it.
It is pretty amazing. The idea is that we're leveraging our brain's natural spatial abilities.
Okay.
We're essentially creating a virtual map in our minds to store and retrieve information.
So instead of just trying to memorize dry facts and figures, we're creating this vivid, engaging mental landscape.
Exactly, with memorable images.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
And the first step in building our financial memory palace is choosing a familiar location.
Okay, so what makes a good location for a memory palace?
It should be a place you know well,
Okay.
somewhere you can easily visualize in your mind.
Got it.
So your home, your office,
Okay.
a route you walk every day,
Right.
any place that holds a clear spatial layout in your memory.
The familiarity is key then.
Yeah,
It's like creating a mental foundation for our financial knowledge.
exactly.
Yeah.
Once you've chosen your location, the next step is to identify specific places within that location that will serve as our memory pegs.
Okay.
We call these loci.
Loci. So if I'm picturing, say, my childhood home,
Yeah.
those loci could be things like the front door,
Yes.
the living room couch, the kitchen sink.
Exactly.
Each of those would be a distinct locus.
That's it. And here's a tip. The more unique and memorable those loci are,
Okay.
the better they'll function as memory anchors.
Got it.
So think about distinctive features.
A quirky piece of furniture, an unusual window, a specific artwork.
Okay, so let's say my childhood home had this giant spiraling oak staircase.
Perfect.
That would be a great locus because it's so unique.
Exactly. That spiral staircase would really stand out in your mind,
Right.
making it a perfect spot to anchor information.
I like that. Okay, so once I've identified my loci, what's next?
The next step is to number them,
Okay.
creating a linear path through your memory palace.
Like I would start at, say, my front door, which is locus number 1, move on to that grand staircase, locus number 2, and so on.
Exactly. You're essentially creating a mental map, a guided tour through your financial knowledge.
I love the structure of this. It feels like we're creating a system for success.
That's precisely what we're doing.
Okay, so we've got our location, we've got our loci all numbered.
Yes.
Now, are we ready to start populating our financial palace with those key insights from Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
We are. Let's start with one of the most fundamental concepts from the book,
Okay.
the difference between assets and liabilities. Remember, this distinction is crucial for building wealth.
Right. So how do we translate this abstract concept into a vivid, memorable image for our memory palace?
We need an image that captures the essence of an asset,
Okay.
something that generates income or appreciates in value over time.
Okay, let's see. How about a sparkling fountain in my living room constantly gushing money?
I like that.
It's vivid,
It's
it's engaging, and it perfectly represents the continuous flow of income that an asset can provide.
Brilliant. That's a great image.
Okay, so we've got our asset image. What about a liability?
For liability, we need something that visually represents the opposite,
Okay.
something that drains your resources.
How about this? In the kitchen, right next to that overflowing money fountain,
Okay.
there's a leaky faucet dripping money down the drain.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That leaky faucet perfectly captures the idea of a liability constantly draining your money.
It's so simple, but it really works. I'm already feeling more confident in my ability to remember this key distinction between assets and liabilities.
That's the magic of the memory palace.
Yeah.
It helps us transform these abstract concepts into tangible, memorable images that stick in our minds.
I love it. Now, Rich Dad, Poor Dad also emphasizes the importance of understanding cash flow.
Yes.
How can we bring that concept into our memory palace?
Remember those cash flow diagrams from the book?
Yeah, I do.
We can actually transform those diagrams into a mental image.
Okay.
Picture a river flowing through your house.
Okay. I can see a crystal clear river flowing through my hallway.
Great. Now visualize smaller streams or tributaries flowing into that main river.
Okay.
These represent your various income streams.
I see it. Little streams branching off, bringing money in from my investments, my salary, maybe even a side hustle,
Yes,
all feeding into that main financial flow.
exactly. And to represent expenses, picture dams along that river,
Okay.
holding back some of the flow.
Oh, I like that. So
Yeah.
the bigger the dam, the bigger the expense, right?
Exactly.
It's visually showing how expenses can slow down that financial river.
Precisely. And by picturing those dams and how much water they're holding back, you can start to get a clearer understanding of your spending patterns.
This is so cool. It's like I'm actually seeing my finances flowing through my mental house.
That's the power of this technique.
Yeah.
It brings those abstract financial concepts to life
Right?
and makes them much more memorable.
Okay, let's tackle another big idea from Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Right.
The idea of minding your own business.
Yes.
How can we represent that in our memory palace?
This one calls for a grand image.
Okay.
Imagine yourself as the king or queen of your memory palace.
Ooh, crown on scepter in hand.
Yes.
I'm surveying my financial domain.
Excellent. Now envision little gold coins scurrying around, busily working to build your wealth.
Okay.
These are your money workers, and you are directing their every move.
It's like a bustling hive of activity, all focused on building my asset column.
Precisely. You are in control, directing your resources, building your financial kingdom.
I'm already feeling empowered.
Okay.
One more key concept from Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Okay.
The idea of paying yourself first. How can we visualize that in our memory palace?
Let's create a special place for this. Imagine a treasure chest in your bedroom.
Ooh, a treasure chest overflowing with gold coins.
Perfect. And imagine yourself diligently depositing a portion of your income into that chest before paying any bills or making any other expenditures.
Like I'm prioritizing my own financial well-being above all else.
Exactly. That treasure chest is a visual reminder of your commitment to building wealth and securing your financial future.
This is incredible. My memory palace is starting to feel like a powerful engine for financial success.
It is. And remember, the key is to personalize these images.
Okay.
Make them vivid, multisensory, even humorous.
Got it.
The more bizarre and memorable, the better.
Okay, I'm picturing that giant spiral staircase in my childhood home, but now instead of just being made of wood,
Yeah.
it's made entirely of stacks of money
Ow.
spiraling upwards towards the ceiling.
Now you're getting it.
Yeah.
The more you engage your imagination and make these images your own, the more effectively they'll stick in your memory.
Okay, so we've built this incredible financial memory palace.
We have.
Filled it with money fountains and leaky faucets.
Yes.
A treasure chest,
yeah.
and even a giant spiral staircase made of cash.
It's quite a sight.
But it's not enough to just create this mental masterpiece, right?
You're absolutely right. It's like building a gym. You have to actually use it to see results.
Okay, so what does it mean to use our memory palace?
Think of it as taking a mental walk through your palace.
Okay,
Revisit those vivid images we've created.
got it.
See that money fountain gushing? Watch those little gold coin workers scurrying about. Feel the weight of the gold coins in your treasure chest.
So I should regularly take some time, maybe even just a few minutes each day, to stroll through my mental mansion,
Yes.
checking on my financial assets,
Yep.
keeping an eye on those pesky liabilities,
Right.
and reinforcing those key Rich Dad principles.
Precisely. The more frequently you do this mental walkthrough, the stronger those neural connections become. You're not just memorizing facts, you're internalizing a whole new way of thinking about money.
It's like I'm training my brain to spot financial opportunities, understand cash flow, and make smarter decisions.
Exactly.
All thanks to this incredible memory palace we've built together.
You're taking control of your financial narrative.
Yeah.
You're no longer just reacting to circumstances. You're
Right.
proactively shaping your financial future.
This has been such a powerful experience.
It has.
By combining the wisdom of Rich Dad, Poor Dad with the memory-boosting technique of memory palaces,
Yes.
we've created a tangible, actionable tool for achieving financial success.
And remember, this is just the beginning.
Oh.
Once you understand the power of memory palaces, you can apply this technique to so many other areas of your life.
That's incredibly exciting. What are some other ways we could use memory palaces?
Imagine creating memory palaces to learn new languages,
Wow.
master historical facts, or even memorize lines for a play.
So it's not just limited to finances.
Not at all. You can create a memory palace for anything you want to learn or remember.
It's like having an infinite library of knowledge in my mind, all neatly organized and ready to be accessed.
Exactly. The only limit is your imagination.
Thank you so much for guiding us on this incredible deep dive.
It's been my pleasure.
I feel empowered and inspired to take control of my financial future
That's great to hear.
and explore the endless possibilities of memory palaces.
Remember, you have the power within you to achieve financial freedom and unlock your full mental potential.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you've gained valuable insights and tools to help you on your journey to financial success. Be sure to check out the show notes for links to the resources we mentioned, and most importantly, start building your own memory palaces. We can't wait to hear about the incredible things you achieve. Until next time, keep